Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Dallas, Texas. And it's 7 p.m. in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog the Shipper. Yo, this is America's Best Podcast. What's the buzz? And I'm joined, oh, God help me. She's back for night number 2. Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman. How are you, Amelia?
They're good. How are you?
Oh, man. I thought I was going to have a nice night with the boys.
Oh, hush.
She's back. Oh, Lord. Well, let me talk to my guys here, and I'll get with you in a minute. Joining me is our friend, Big Lou Marconi. He is from the, let me get this right, Burning River
Brownstock.
Broncos.
Brownstock, not Broncos.
Brownstock. Okay, on the wrong state.
And the Sunday stew pot on Rumble.
And the stew pot. And cue ball's covering his face like, oh, fuck. I'm not a sports guy, cue ball. And my friend.
Couldn't tell.
Cue ball Carmichael, former pro wrestler, former police officer. And, of course, there's Big Lou Marconi. He's a former pro wrestler. He's a conspiracy theorist, and we like that. And, let me introduce her properly. This is Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman. Okay, you got your due now, Mill? Okay.
And we have, of course, Mr. Mad Dog himself. Ladies and gentlemen.
The Mad Dog. Great show last night. We had a hell of a show. We had Ken Widener here. You know Ken Widener, but you certainly know his uncles, Clarence and John Angland, two of the guys that escaped from Alcatraz on June 12th, 1962. And they were joined last night by Mike Lynch, co-author of Alcatraz, The Last Escape. They will, in fact, be back with us next Tuesday night, May 14th, for part 2. It was so good. They're coming back again.
That was cool. The History Channel did a real good piece about that. Did you guys talk about that?
Yeah, they spoke about it last night, Lou. Yep, sure did.
Talked about the Clint Eastwood movie, the Alcatraz.
Very interesting show tonight. Is Jeffrey Epstein still alive? And and we have to ask the question. I know we talked about it. It's been talked about in the press. Conspiracy people are going nuts. TikTok is burning up with it. We gotta ask this burning question: is he living in WitTek? Now, if you guys don't know WitTek, it's real simple. It's Witness Protection Program. Well, that's the colloquial name is Witness Protection. I'm going to go right from the top here, Amelia. I'm going to go to our friend Cue Ball Carmichael. You are a former police officer, Cue Ball. Let's talk about this. You know, one of the things with regard to Epstein in particular is his exorbitant wealth, his ability to come and go at will. He had unlimited financial resources. How does it behoove a guy like this to get into the program? Are they doing him any favors, or is he the one doing them the favor? How does this really work out?
Well, it really goes both ways, because obviously if he's alive in a WitTek, he's not going to talk. So that, saves people that we all know into the island, right?
Yeah.
So it protects them, but it also protects him. So if he is in WitTek, which he had so much money. I mean, I wouldn't go to WitTek if I had $200 or $1 billion or $2 billion or whatever he had, you know.
It's
But
ridiculous. Yeah.
I mean, maybe anything's possible when you have that much money.
Yeah.
So,
I thought about that. So I gotta ask Cue Ball right off the bat. I have to ask him this question. Lou, your thoughts on that, my friend? Let me throw you up in the air. What do you think?
To tell you the honestly, that's the truth. You got to think whenever this happens, whenever there's a conspiracy or any theory, period.
Mhm.
Who benefits by him being in WitTek?
Well, that I suppose it's like Cue Ball said, you know, it kind of goes both ways. But the real question is, who's the real beneficiary? Is it the government or is it the protectee?
I think it's the very powerful people that that he can take down easily. He has. I mean, that's why they're just. That could be the reason why. That's the one thing you think that these. I mean, I think this goes. I hate this because a list did come out, and I heard it. And when I heard like Stephen Hawking, I was like, really?
Wait a minute. I heard that today.
Yeah.
And I nearly fell off my chair. Okay?
I know. I was what?
When they mentioned Alan Dershowitz and Stephen Hawking in the same breath.
Yeah.
First, I laughed my ass off, and then I almost fell off the fucking chair.
Yeah. When Stephen Hawking passes out, you got to call AAA. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, like, how can you be sexually assaulted by him? Yeah, it's not. I mean, really, you couldn't walk up a flight of stairs to get away from the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand it.
Does this sound familiar to anybody, Lou?
Yeah. Yeah,
Two people die while awaiting trial in Harris County, Texas jail. High-profile rape suspect found dead of hanging in cell awaiting trial. Armless suspect, and I mean armless meaning no arms. Armless suspect commits suicide by hanging awaiting trial in Fulton County, Georgia jail. Billionaire John McAfee found dead of hanging in Spanish jail awaiting trial and extradition to the United States. Jeffrey Epstein found dead by suicidal hanging while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges. Does this sound familiar, gentlemen?
Yes.
Got a pattern.
Yeah.
Thank you. You got what I was looking for. There's a pattern here, folks.
And were the cameras happen to be turned off or turned away at this time, or was there like all the security guards sleep?
Happened to be broke, Lou. What do you think?
Yeah. What a surprise! And all the corrections officers just took a nap at that time.
They just happened to go on break at that
time.
On
break, all of it.
Amelia,
at the same time,
you're pretty good with numbers, right? You're good with math. What are the mathematical odds of that happening on any given time?
0 to 0, 0 to 100.
Those are pretty good odds. Like 0 to 0 is about right.
I'm like Rain Man, but not good at math.
Right? Here's what we know. We know that I think we now know, based on substantial, solid, credible evidence, and that of not one but two of the world's most renowned and respected pathologists, forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Baden and Dr. Cyril Wecht, that Jeffrey Epstein, if in fact he did die, certainly did not die by hanging. He was murdered. We know by the ligature marks around his neck, he was strangled rather succinctly, tightly, if in fact it was him at all. Let's spend the next 4 minutes, folks, watching this.
Jeffrey Epstein may be alive. That's a statement that has been repeated over and over. But is it really true? Did Jeffrey Epstein really die by suicide? In fact, here's his own brother calling BS on the autopsy reports.
And 4.5 years later, you have no answers at all on any of these questions?
None. The autopsy photographs show that the ligature mark on Jeff's neck is in the middle of his neck and goes straight back. As if someone put a rope around his neck and strangled him.
The official ruling stated that he died by hanging, but this conclusion has faced challenges and conspiracy theories. Jeffrey Epstein, alive, Epstein, a wealthy financier and convicted sex offender, was found unresponsive in his jail cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in 2019. One of the key factors that have raised eyebrows is the series of violations of normal jail procedures on the night Epstein died. It was revealed that the cameras in front of his cell malfunctioned, conveniently leaving no visual evidence of what transpired during those crucial moments. This glaring lapse in security has led many to question whether foul play was involved and whether Epstein's death was a carefully orchestrated cover-up. Adding to the skepticism is the alleged negligence and misconduct of the jail officials responsible for Epstein's well-being. The United States Department of Justice's Inspector General's investigation report criticized these officials for their failure to properly monitor Epstein and ensure his safety. This report highlighted a broken system that allowed for such a high-profile inmate to meet such a tragic end. The negligence displayed by those entrusted with Epstein's care only adds to the doubts surrounding the official ruling. Epstein's lawyers and family have also expressed deep reservations about the suicide ruling. They argue that Epstein's demeanor and behavior leading up to his death were not indicative of someone who was contemplating suicide. Furthermore, Epstein had a bail hearing scheduled, which gave him hope for a potential release. This raises questions about his motivation to take his own life at that particular moment. Conspiracy theories have also emerged, suggesting that Epstein may have faked his own death to escape justice or to protect himself and his powerful associates. Epstein had long boasted about having compromising information on influential figures, and his connections to politicians, celebrities, and business moguls have only added fuel to the fire.
We will see more of that later on in the show. I wanted to stop it there purposely because there's a lot to take in. I was watching your face, cue ball, when you were watching that video. So I want to bring you up. Your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm sure that if he is dead, he did not commit suicide. Because when you have all the money in the world and you're facing a bail hearing, you know you're getting out. I mean, the Eighth Amendment ensures proper bail for everybody. And so I think that he was going to get out. I think, obviously, my own suspicions are that there was a former president and his wife behind this.
Sure, Bill and Hillary, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's my conspiracy theory.
I pull no punches here. I pull no punches here. I'm not even going to pretend that I like them. I met Bill Clinton when his first night out of the Democratic nomination, where he accepted the nomination. I met him the next morning in Camden, New Jersey. With our governor. My father knew our late governor, and I was introduced to Mr. Clinton back then. I didn't like him when I shook his hand. I felt like I was shaking hands with a kind of like, I felt like I was shaking hands with the devil. I did. He felt evil. He felt like his hands had been in dirt.
Wasn't there a Project Veritas story where the ABC News spiked the Epstein story during the 2016 election because it would have hurt Hillary? I could have swore I heard that too, because they were connected to him.
Absolutely, Lou. We'll talk about that in a second when I bring you up, because I'm going to bring you up in a second. But go ahead, Chris.
You know, my whole thoughts on it is like, look, I was living in Northern Virginia, right outside of D.C., when Vince Foster was found in the park in D.C., shot in the head, and the gun was in his right hand, and there was no gunpowder residue in either hand. And the ironic thing is, everybody knew Vince was left-handed.
Exactly.
So you're never going to shoot yourself in the head.
Can I tell you what that is?
You're not dominant hand.
I'm going to tell you what that is, folks. That's called sending a message. That's called sending a message. That there's a fine line between the mafia and the government. Okay. The mafia does things right.
The mafia makes money.
Difference.
Yeah, the mafia makes money. There you go.
Sending a message. That was a clear-cut case of, we want you to know it was us. We did this.
Yeah.
Okay. Lube, I'm going to bring you back up here.
Yes, sir.
So you watched that, and I saw the look on your face, and you were slightly amused by some of it, and shook your head on some other stuff. So, brother, unload. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I remember watching that Tucker Carlson interview.
Yes,
I remember that. So it just kind of triggered something like, oh yeah, I remember this. I remember this. And the fact of the matter is that we have the reason why I was shaking my head was we have a mainstream media that does an absolute disservice to the people they're supposed to serve by
Oh my
being
God.
objective, by being just telling us what's happening and
Exactly.
exposing these these people, exposing
Mhm.
these people for who they are. Now, Prince Andrew was another person I knew that's associated with Epstein. And I figured this too. This is a 2024 election year, and they're doing everything they can to take down Trump. If his name was anywhere associated with him, it would have been out. This all would have been out. And
Mhm.
that's just me thinking. I don't care what your politics are, but they're doing everything they can legally to take down Trump. This would
Yeah.
be a perfect way to do it if he was anyway associated with this guy.
Right.
But you saw some
Absolutely.
reels with him somehow. But it looks like
Yeah.
Trump was a lot younger back then too. So,
Oh, he
but go
sure
ahead.
was.
Mhm.
Amelia,
Yes.
let's chime in on this one.
Oh,
Your thought.
absolutely. There's so many powerful people in that video that any of them would have been able to get him out on bail, if not his own money, of course, to help him
Mhm.
release that. And of course, I'll pay you back later, kind of a
What
thing.
about the notion, Amelia, that that he had the wherewithal to either convince someone or some high profile people to put him in protective custody?
Oh, of
What about
course.
the notion of that? Does that sound plausible in
Mhm.
your mindset?
Oh, yes. I mean, he had so many powerful people in his paws, and that little, if he had a little black book, he could have called and said, "Look, I want you to put me in protection because I have this and this and this on you right now."
I thought about that too, Amelia,
Mhm.
and Lou and Cuba. I thought about that, and I'm going to tell all of you. Here's the only drawback I could come up with. It's true that he had the wherewithal, he had the resources, he had the connections to pull that off. No
Yes.
question about it. But by the same token, and I keep going back, my brain just keeps going back to this. By the same token, the powerful people that he knew
Mhm.
also knew the other group of powerful people who maybe could benefit by him not being here anymore.
Right.
The strange bedfellows, but they all knew each other. Remember, Chris, you worked in police long enough. Money begets money. Trash begets trash. Criminals beget. You're not going to get a criminal to testify against another criminal. It ain't going to happen. There's a code of ethics on the street. That's not going to happen. So I keep going back to what's the gain here? What's
Unless
the gain? And then it hit me like a ton of fucking bricks. And I saw a video that confirmed it. You're going to see it tonight.
Hmm?
Let's watch the rest of this because we got to see this. It's really important.
That Epstein's death was a carefully orchestrated plan to silence him and prevent him from testifying against these powerful individuals cannot be dismissed outright.
Okay. Did you hear that?
yes.
Talking about the powerful and the elite. All right.
Mhm.
Epstein's death cannot be dismissed. But did he really die? That's the question from the moment his death was announced. Did he really die? Well, let's take a look at this.
I can't hear anything.
There's no
Oh, okay.
yeah, we're watching. This is a visual, and let me just tell everybody listening on radio, you're not hearing dead air, folks.
No.
We are watching a video. I will describe this old school style. You are looking at President Bill Clinton getting a back massage by a 15, 16-year-old girl somewhere around there.
She looks a little bit older than that, but yeah. Wow.
But yeah, she's absolutely no older than 16. Let's go back to this picture, and because I want to read you something. All right. Chris Jackson, a.k.a. Cue Ball Carmichael. All right. Listen to this one. Listen to this one. I want to pull this up. This is important. New York Fire Department paramedics were shown working on Epstein. A medical doctor outside the facility had to confirm his death. Another doctor also had to confirm it. Numerous people saw the person who was stated to be Epstein from the MCC facility all the way to the hospital And then multiple people saw him there. Okay. Here's the problem. Did they see Jeff Epstein? You've already seen a picture or two that clearly throws doubt in the face of that allegation. Let us continue with this. Watch it full through. We can speak as we're watching this. In fact, I highly encourage that we do. Okay. This is the body coming out of the facility. Now, Chris, you're seeing a body. It's completely covered, is it not?
100%.
Okay. I want everybody to understand that we're watching a body. The body allegedly of Jeffrey Epstein being taken out of the Metropolitan Correctional Facility in Manhattan. Okay? You're looking at Jeffrey Epstein's photo, known photos. Now, you're looking at another picture of Epstein outside the facility. Here is my problem. Who were they taking out that other door in that body bag? If this is Jeff Epstein, if we are to believe that this is Jeffrey Epstein, it gets better. Watch.
We can't. Yeah, you can't really tell that's him, though. Yeah.
Well, here's the problem. If you look at this gentleman here, who was clearly not Jeffrey Epstein, look at the nose. When you die, your nose does not change shape.
Right.
It's the same nose.
Right.
The gentleman to the left has a hooked nose. The gentleman to the right does not. And by the way, the picture on the right is a known, validated, verified, confirmed picture of one Mr. Jeffrey Edward Epstein. Let us continue.
The ears are different as well.
Yeah, I noticed. I was going to say that. I was going to say the same thing.
The ears are substantially different. That you're looking at a photo now of the fire department, a New York Fire Department, paramedics working on Epstein. Here's the problem I have, Lou. Here's the problem I have, Cue Ball. They said that they found him dead in his cell. I got a question. Do you bag a dead guy? They're bagging him. Look.
They're trying to revive him. You mean by bagging him? Is that what that means?
Well, if he was found dead in his jail cell,
they would be bagging him.
They're not going to bag you. If
they would
you're
pronounce him dead. Exactly.
Right. If you're dead, you're dead. What you're it's like pissing in the wind, you know?
Yeah.
It just, I saw that and went, wait a minute, that doesn't jive up with my, official coroner's notes here. By the way, these came right from the coroner's office. Take a look at it. This is crazy stuff. And you'll see what I wrote here.
Okay,
I wrote,
is this on the upper left?
Yeah, that's the cell. Clearly that's staged.
Yeah.
You'll see what I wrote here was, is this a body double? That's what I wrote there.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. Again, these are two. These are two pictures purporting to be Jeffrey Epstein. The picture to the left is Epstein. The picture to the right is not.
No.
Okay.
No, that's Ahmed Farad.
How do you know that?
I just thought it looked like him.
How do we know this is not? Is that what you're saying?
How do we know who that? I mean, how does he know that's Ahmed Farad? That's what I was asking.
Wild guess. I'm telling you, it's not Jeffrey Epstein.
No, it's not him. No, that's definitely
clearly
not.
No. Okay, let's take a look at this here. You're looking again. They're bagging a dead guy. If this is Epstein and he is already dead in his cell, there's no need to bag a dead guy. That's point A. Point B is look at that cell on the upper left-hand corner.
Oh yeah.
There's enough what do you want to call it? Bandages, torn sheets, whatever you want to call them. There's enough in there to hang 30 or 40 people.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely staged.
Again, to me, and my skeptical mind, but my critically thinking mind, they're saying, here's your message, folks. We're going to send you a message. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you never will. The message here is he's either A, not dead, or B, he didn't kill himself. Clearly, he was murdered by all accounts.
If he is dead.
If he is dead, yeah.
Yeah.
That
If he is
does not
dead, he was
even
murdered.
close.
I agree. I mean,
And again, here's a much better look at that.
yeah.
It's
Lou, take a look at that.
I see it. Yeah. Looks like
That's crazy stuff, brother.
that's
You'll see what I wrote on here. Clearly staged suicide jail cell.
yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't he on suicide watch at the time?
Yeah.
Too?
yes.
He was allegedly. We have to be careful
Allegedly.
here
Okay, I
because,
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if that was
and
allegedly.
the reason we want to say allegedly is because his cellmate was with him for 4 days. His cellmate said he was jovial, happy, and up because he knew he was going to go to trial soon and he'd be out because he had every intention of posting bail. That's number one. Number two is the day before the alleged hanging, they removed the cellmate. The picture you saw previously of that a man in the orange jumpsuit with the cropped dark hair, that was his cellmate. He was an Italian banker living in New York that was there on embezzlement charges. Hardly anything you want to, put a guy, with a violent sex offender or allegedly a violent sex offender. So they had something in common. They were both in the money business. But look at this picture. Tell me what's wrong with this picture. Anybody, somebody.
Well, everything. It's
tell me. I want to do that. Let's do this.
Too many blankets in there.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that picture, Q-Ball?
They would never leave a cell like that. They would never let it get that way. Go ahead, Q-Ball.
Nobody's allowed that much stuff in a cell.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A blanket.
There's the
a
answer.
Jumpsuit.
There's the answer I was looking for. Where did he get all this shit?
Exactly.
You get one blanket, one pillow. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. You get one blanket, one pillow. I come from a family. I got a few law enforcement people in my family, along with the gangsters and the criminals. But there's a couple of cops running around in my family. But they'll all one blanket, one pillow.
That's
you
it.
get 3 squares a day if you're lucky. Maybe
a toothbrush, a razor, maybe. If that's
Yeah, exactly, Lou.
Exactly. Well, no, because we a lot of wrestlers we know were corrections officers. They'll tell you.
Sure.
Especially when you ride in the car with them on long trips, they'll tell you exactly
Look at the
how it
Big
is.
Boss Man. Big Boss Man was a legit corrections officer.
In
Cobb
Preston,
County, Georgia, for real.
And Preston Steele spent years on the police force, was a SWAT team member.
Absolutely. Check this out, guys. This girl is 14 years old.
Jeez.
Confirmed, verified. 14 years old. He liked her particularly. This is the only photo of this young lady showing her full face. You're going to see the same girl, but her face is blurred out.
What year is this?
This is 2015, I believe. 14, 15.
And that woman's in custody. Giselle Maxwell, is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear. This is that girl, by the way. It says that she's 11. She's actually not at the time. She's 14, 15.
Still, it's a child.
Okay, here's Giselle Maxwell. The picture to the left is an original, authentic picture. The picture to the right is faked. Apparently, somebody decided to have some fun with it and Photoshop their body and face on somebody else's body. That's Jeffrey Epstein, by the way, in that photo. This is Bill Clinton on Epstein's Island. For anyone to say that Bill Clinton wasn't there, he denied it several times. Well, the proof is in the pudding. There you go, Mr. President. There's Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein. And just judging by, let's just sit here for a second and look. Let's just look at this. They're much, much younger back then. Bill Clinton at this time is probably still president, judging by his hair color.
Right.
He's probably still president. I know he was for a fact in this photo right here.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you look at that photo and look at the next one, well, they look awful close, don't they?
Very.
There's Ghislaine Maxwell. That's actually her full name is Ghislaine Maxwell. And you're going to find out about who she is and who her father is in a minute. Let's take a look here.
That was Pierce Morgan. I see that.
Oh, yeah. This, by the way, this is a real picture.
Yeah.
This is we're gonna talk about this again. This photo, and he's wearing Hillary's dress. This was his initiation. And that's all I'm allowed to. I know a lot about this picture. I can only tell you that he had to pledge and initiate himself into a certain group. This is his initiation. You're going to see another photo. That's the actual photo of Bill Clinton wearing Hillary's dress right there.
Okay.
And you're going to see Hillary in a minute.
Did he have to put that dress on? And
he had to put it on, pose, and be photographed in order to. Oh, I'll just go ahead and fucking tell you. I'll just go ahead and tell you. He had to pledge Bohemian Grove. He had to pledge Bohemian Grove. That was his Bohemian Grove picture. As you know, if you don't know, I will inform you, or as we like to say in the wrestling business, I'll smarten you up. My wife hates that term, by the way. At Bohemian Grove, there is a stupendous amount, a ridiculous amount, a colossal amount of homosexual and sexual in general depravity, particularly sex with underage boys. And sometimes they'll sneak a girl in. But largely, it's little boys between 10 and 16. Bill Clinton is a member of that elite club. You can fucking keep it, Bill.
Yes.
There's the same dress that Hillary's wearing right there. You're looking at Jeffrey Epstein and his brother Mark Epstein. Mark Epstein called bullshit. He says, my brother didn't kill himself. Somebody killed him. If that was even his body, they showed. So we don't know that yet. Okay, then you're looking at classified stuff there. This is Jeffrey Epstein's. This, by the way, Amelia, this happened in Florida. Florida Department of Corrections put this sex offender tracking number for Jeffrey Epstein. He's got a tracking number here. He's got an inmate number. All that fun stuff. So he was a resident of your facilities there in Florida for some time. And you're going to see a number of passports that these are all Jeffrey Epstein's confirmed, validated passports. Why does a guy need so many passports under so many different pseudonyms? But they're all Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you get out of the country.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So now, let's talk about this. It's it begs the question. I ran my mouth long enough. I want you guys to jump in here. Shut up, Amelia. In fact, you know what? Got a big mouth. I'm going to start with you. Go ahead. Smart ass.
I didn't say anything. I promise. No, I had a question about the brother. I mean, I know that he's asked questions about his brother, being killed and things like that. Do you know if the brother has anything happened to him? Do you know? Was he given any hush money to hush? Or
his brother has 24-hour a day, 7-day a week police, like a bodyguard.
Oh.
He is paying for that. He is paying for off-duty police to be his 24/7 bodyguard in the city where he lives. They have agreed to that only because of who he is in relation to Jeffrey Epstein. And they don't. They can't. Let's put it this way, and Cuba will understand, and Lou will understand. They can't afford for anything to happen to this guy because that's going to blare red flag all over the place.
Absolutely.
All over the place. But that's a great question, Mel. That's a great question. What do you think, Lou? You saw some substantial evidence here.
Yeah,
What do you think? You're.
I think there's things that there's some really sick people out there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of really sick people because you want to know what the top searched word is for internet porn? Do you know what it is?
Probably incest.
Teen.
Teen.
What?
Teen.
Teen.
T-E-E-N.
No shit.
Yep. There's a group of sick people out there. Why do you think that always says teen on those videos to get clicks?
Well,
on
yeah,
them?
it's a come on to get you in. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, it's there. And like we were talking about, but even before we went on to the show, I think there's a lot of powerful people that want to keep this quiet, whether it's Bohemians or whatever the hell, Bohemian Rhapsody, whatever you're saying. Yeah, Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes. That's what
whether
they're just there's just a lot of sick people, and if people were actually, if the media was actually honest, I mean, actually told the truth, this would be such a better country just by itself. I mean, I'm just saying that. Just tell.
We have devolved, my friend Lou. We have devolved into a third world country thanks to a number of people like Bill Clinton, people like John F. Kennedy, people like Joe Biden, people to some extent like Franklin Roosevelt.
Yeah.
People don't understand. They think Roosevelt was a hero. He was a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Franklin Roosevelt was a piece of shit in a wheelchair. Okay.
So was Stephen Hawking, apparently.
Evidently. Evidently. Well, you know what? We can investigate that. We
get a sign around his neck. I just like to watch.
Yes.
That's
I don't think anything worked otherwise. I'm
Yeah.
just
Nobody was going to give anybody a hand.
No, nothing. No, brother, nothing worked. Nothing. My concern for our country with regard to the media is that they have discovered that it is all too easy and we are all too gullible to believe the first thing that comes out of the press's mouth.
Absolutely.
If the press says it, by God, it must be true.
Yeah, it's on TV. It's true.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm thankful that we have people like Jeff Rentz. We have people like Alex Jones. We have people like Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump, Megyn Kelly. And you're going to see something tonight from Megyn Kelly.
Wasn't Alex Jones the first guy to film that Bohemian Grove stuff like 20 years ago or something?
30 years ago, yes.
30 years ago, he snuck in and filmed that.
Yeah, because I watched it 30 years ago, and it's
crazy,
fresh,
right?
I mean, the rituals and stuff.
Oh.
It's as fresh today as it was the day it aired.
It is.
And it's as potent and important and powerful today. Even in fact, I'll go to this extent. I'll say it's more important today than it was then.
I agree with you 100%.
Because we know so much more.
Yep.
See,
we know
you
so much more.
Fire me up. If you want to get my Italian juices going, you want to get my ass on flame, talk about this kind of shit. Because I'm wide. I'm ready. Come on.
Look, I'm a father of two girls. I'm right there.
The hardest thing for me to hear was the baby crying in that video when we watched that for the Bohemian Grove.
Played.
Oh my God.
By the way, I got Alex Jones's permission to play that. I got his permission to play that. And he almost came on the show.
That's some devil worshiping crap right there.
Yeah.
And you know,
came on. I had to get permission from not him personally, but his his people.
Yeah, right.
But they gave us permission.
They're not even hiding it now. They're not even hiding it anymore. It's just all out there.
That's my point, Lou.
Yeah,
That's my point. It's out in the open. They don't give a shit.
It's like stop us.
Yeah. Used to be, bad was bad and good was good, but now bad is good and good is bad,
Right.
It's incredible.
It's sickening is what it is. Let's take a look at the rest of this. I think you're going to see something here. And we're going, you know what? Before we go any further, let me do this because I have a new radio station that joined us. And I want to take this, a couple spots just to regroup with everyone. Well, folks, we're going to take a little break. We will be right back after this. So sit tight and watch our sponsors.
Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com. And the Lawnmower 3.0, your balls will thank you. And so will we.
For expert body work and collision repair, there's only one place in Clementon, New Jersey. It's Bruce's Collision Center at 114 White Horse Pike in Clementon, New Jersey. Call Bruce at 856-783-1475. And tell him the Mad Dog sent you from WWTF Radio, global and around the world. What's the Buzz Popcast welcomes K-Pop Radio in Seoul, South Korea. Welcome aboard and welcome to the Buzz. What's the Buzz welcomes Radio 2 from Belgium. Welcome aboard and welcome to the Buzz. We are back with What's the Buzz, America's Best Popcast. I'm Mad Dog the Chip. You're joined by Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, Big Lou Marconi, and Cue Ball Carmichael. And our subject tonight is Jeffrey Epstein alive and living in WitTek? Well, we have had a few moments of spirited debate, and now I've got my blood pressure back under control. And the coffee's helping with that decaf, by the way, tonight, folks. I don't think I can afford caffeine. Not tonight. Not with this. People
were asking me about that. I told them I was milking Lizzo.
Yeah, exactly.
She loved it.
I hear you, pal.
She was shaking like a fat hooker on a cold night.
I'm telling you. Jeez. Check this out.
Go ahead.
Conspiracy theorists have even gone as far as claiming that the images of Epstein in transport to the hospital were of a body double, further deepening the mystery surrounding his demise. While these claims may seem far-fetched, they highlight the extent to which doubts and speculation have permeated the public. Inconsistencies, violations of prison procedures, and doubts expressed by Epstein's lawyers and family have cast a shadow of doubt over this conclusion. As we dig deeper into the mysterious case of Jeffrey Epstein, it becomes evident that his connections to powerful individuals may hold the key to understanding the motives behind his alleged suicide. Epstein's vast network of connections spanned across the realms of politics, business, and entertainment, from former presidents to renowned business tycoons and A-lists. Epstein's connections also extended to the political sphere, with former President Bill Clinton being among the most prominent names. Clinton's association with Epstein has been a subject of controversy, and rumors of his involvement in Epstein's activities have circulated for years. If Epstein were to reveal damaging information about Clinton or any other high-ranking political figures, it could have had far-reaching implications, potentially shaking the foundations of the political establishment.
Epstein was involved with intelligence, whether it's U.S., whether it's Mossad, it's somebody. His island was a honeypot. He had powerful people in compromising positions. He was probably like an access agent where he would give these intel agencies access to insanely powerful people, ex-presidents, people like that. There's no way they open this up, and there was no way that they could have had Jeffrey Epstein in open court pointing fingers at maybe prime ministers and presidents. It would tear countries apart. It would be the biggest political scandal in our lifetime.
I just can't believe they just murked him like that, though. They didn't just murk him, they murked him twice. When he tried to commit suicide the first time, were the cameras broken then, too?
Great question. I don't know.
How come we never heard that?
I mean, they haven't released any footage of the cameras ever working, right? That's a good point. I mean, I think they found him, they transferred him.
Maxwell's dad was an Israeli spy.
Yes.
Who was running logistics for Jeffrey Epstein.
No. So he was a spy for sure. And then he had a huge publishing empire.
But his daughter was running logistics for Jeffrey
Epstein, yes.
Who has been named by government officials that he's untouchable because he's in intelligence.
Yes.
There's a line right there.
Maxwell had a yacht called Lady Ghislaine, which was named after his daughter, Ghislaine, who was his favorite child. And he jumped off one day. He had a very mysterious death, much like Jeffrey Epstein.
And Jeffrey Epstein has been discovered living his life in a whole different country, y'all. The creep himself is still outside.
Him or not, guys, him or not.
Looks like him. Looks a lot like him.
By the way, this was shot without his knowledge. This was done in Israel, where he is said to be living right now. He is said to be living just outside of Tel Aviv. And if you know anything about him or his family history, Tel Aviv is very important. It's where his mother was from.
Life in a whole different country, y'all. The creep himself is.
Does that look like him?
It does.
Yes.
What do you think, Chris?
I think it looks like him.
You know what? I think it looks like him as well. Here's the giveaway for me. It wasn't the fact that he looks like him. It was the body language. It was the body movements, the body mechanics. If you watch, because I watch people. I like to watch people. I watch the way they move, the way they interact, the way they socialize. I watch that. I'm a student of that. And when I look at this man and I compare it with known video of Jeffrey Epstein, you would be hard-pressed indeed to convince me that that man is not Jeffrey Epstein or it's his fucking biological twin. And that's the first F-bomb of the night. In fact, it's the first F-bomb all week, folks. So you got me on a good night.
You did good.
Still outside, okay? He is alive and he's outside.
Rob, can you pull up that clip of what Megyn Kelly just said?
Okay. Now, Amelia.
Yes.
Lou. Cue ball.
Yeah.
Hold on to your asses, kids. Listen to this one. This is from a reputable journalist who's got more than credibility behind her. Listen to this shit, because I like to fell the fuck out.
Just watch this here, guys. Here's Megyn Kelly. Go for it.
Fascinating, and we're not done with Jeffrey Epstein. I can tell you that for a fact. Can't tell you how I know, but I can tell you for a fact we're going to hear a lot more about Jeffrey Epstein in the coming year, and you may be even hearing from him directly. More on that as I'm allowed to tell you.
What is she like, yo, can you, and me and Rob just talked about this, Pat, before we started. Can you imagine, Adam, out of nowhere, Epstein shows up, completely, like, protected by, security and everybody. He's like, I got a story to tell. And he has all these tapes and everything, because his brother hiding his face. I'm kind of on the fence, because Rob showed me earlier that he has ties with Adam Schiff. He has ties with Maxine Waters. I don't really trust the brother. He's not showing his face. Who knows? He's saying, my brother's not, because, by the way, the way that the body was handled, Epstein's body, they took off his clothes, they put on a gown. There's so many mistakes, besides the cameras, besides the guards. It's obviously some really, really sketchy stuff that happened with his brother, Pat. But I want to ask you guys a question, and a real genuine, honest question, because they mentioned Clinton's the main name, besides Alan Dershowitz and Stephen Hawking, which I don't even know how that could have happened, where people were having sex with him. And Prince Andrew. But how much more do we need to learn about Bill Clinton until he's held accountable for his actions?
Epstein did not kill himself. He was strangled. So you don't want to live in a country where it's...
Okay. I saw this. I had to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be particularly interested after this video. I want to get Cue Ball and Lou, right after this video, I want both of you guys in that order to jump all over this thing, okay? Because listen to what he's saying. Just listen up, and I'm going to let it roll.
No, he was not strangled. They walked in a fake body, fake dead body. Look at the ear print and the nose print. They don't change when you die. So what they did is they walked him out the front door. He's probably back somewhere doing the same very things he did before. The people behind him are very powerful and they do what they do.
Compare both of this picture. Do you see anything?
I threw this in there for my own amusement. It's just kind of funny to watch.
Similar. So wait.
Did you guys ever see that $20 bill bet?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that one, Lou?
Yes.
Okay. Cue Ball, I want to bring you up on the big camera. The guy at the last couple of videos we saw, Megyn Kelly and the guy, you know, the anonymous mask, saying they walked him out the front door.
Right.
Okay. Your thoughts being, I'm assuming in your police work, there have been a time or two where you may have had to take a subject or a suspect and divert them so that the press or enemies don't, you know, without giving too much away. You get where I'm going, right? Okay.
You go, hey, look over here, you can't miss this. And then you just walk right by them. And everybody's looking over here at this. You give them a big enough distraction, and that's all they're going to look at. They're you can walk right by them in a different uniform with a shaved face or a hat on or whatever. They won't even know who you are.
Can I tell you something to tie this into a story? And Amelia, you know where I'm going with this because we had Pearl on the show.
Yes.
They did the same thing with Michael Jackson. They did the same thing with Michael. They said, look over here, looky, looky, looky. While he was driving the ambulance outside of his mansion. Tell me if I'm bullshit.
No, you were right. He was driving.
And we had a woman on the show who knows Michael. Pearl Jr. from Elbow Grease Production. She knows Michael. She knows the whole family. She knew Joe and Catherine and Jermaine and Randy and Tito. She knew the whole family. But she knew Michael very, very well. You can't, it's unfathomable to think, folks, what's going on under your very nose while you're blinking.
In plain sight, just like you tell everyone every time.
So talk to me, Cue Ball, talk to me about this. How big of a distraction or how significant a distraction must you make to get someone of that magnitude, of that high profile caliber, past a crowd of hundreds or in some cases of thousands of people, as in the case of Michael?
It's not as hard as you would think, right?
Is it fairly easy to do?
It's fairly easy to do because people look at what the most obvious is and they ignore the most apparent, right?
Yeah.
So they're looking at the obvious thing. They're looking where the police, where the medics are, what they're doing, what they're bringing out on the stretcher. While over here to the right, or you could be doing anything. As long as they're all looking to the left, you can do anything to the right or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, it's the ultimate sleight of hand, but it's sleight of eye. Get enough attention over here, everybody looks, nobody looks there.
It's the ultimate magic trick, misdirection.
It really is. It really is. Yep. Big
Lou Marconi.
Yes.
You're up to bat, baby. Talk to me. What you got that look on? I see. I'm starting to know your looks now, which is a scary fucking thing.
He's hoping Epstein's actually dead, like we all are.
Let me say this because sometimes people, I get asked because I'm a father and I have two daughters. One that's going to be 9 this year, and another one that's going to be 7. And they actually, because I'm protective. I'm a protective father. Yeah. And he's laughing. Chris is laughing because, and they're like, do you ever think that you might be overprotective? And I said, nope. Not at all.
I hope so.
Not at all.
My
Not
answer
at all.
would be,
That's
I
just
hope
it.
so.
Oh yeah, yeah. I said I even told there was a guy that thought he was funny and made a joke about them becoming of age. I
Yeah.
looked at him. I said, I want you to understand something. I don't care if I go to jail. You run your mouth about my kids again, and I will put you in the ground.
Right. There you go.
And I said that to him, and I didn't even hesitate. And his eyes got this big, like, oh fuck.
Mhm.
I said, don't fuck with an Italian father.
Not only that, but there's two things you don't do. It's mob rules. See, my life is mob rules.
Mhm.
You don't fuck with their kids. You don't fuck with their wife.
Yep.
Two things that are off limits. Come at me all you want, but
Right.
you leave my kids alone and you leave my wife alone.
Yep.
Because then you're crossing that sacred line.
Yep. Did you
And
ever
you
see
had
the show
every
Tulsa King?
Oh, brother, let me tell you something. I'm Sicilian, all right? I'm straight up mafia, all right? I come from that blood. Anyway, that's a show different. That's another kind
That's a whole different show.
Yes, sir. I might have you on that show.
I think I'm gonna become a regular for you.
I'm telling you, you and Cuba are great guests. Amelia, let me bring you up here. Okay, let's talk about this. We've talked about this is our fifth show.
Yes.
On Jeffrey Epstein, and it never gets old. Why do people like these shows? Tell me as my producer, because I'm the host of the show and I still don't understand it. Tell me as my producer, why do they watch this?
They love these kind of shows because every time something always comes up, or they hear a new rumor, or they want to go down another rabbit hole because they think of something else, or what if this happened, or what if this other thing happened, or they come up with something new every single time.
And it seems like in the case of Jeffrey Epstein, Lou and Cue Ball and Amelia, it seems like every time you turn around and do an internet search, there's another new piece of information.
Absolutely.
Especially if you don't use Google.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what if you
By the way, and I've stopped. I'm just going to say this publicly. I've stopped using Google. I'm using DuckDuckGo.
Yes, that's a
as
good
my
website.
as my search. Google is, and let's go off subject for a second. Google is scrubbing a number of words, videos, images. They're scrubbing to the tune of 1 million images a day, up to 500,000 videos a day. They're scrubbing up to 100,000 words a day,
right,
from the internet. Okay, you use the word. Okay, I mentioned it earlier.
Right.
When Lou was talking about what's the key word. That's what my thing would be. If you're a sick fuck watching porn.
Oh, it's like like incest,
or like what they call vomit porn. There's all kinds of sick shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's horrible.
There's YouTube videos of sex workers telling stories of what clients ask them to do.
Yeah.
It's really like.
How do you know that, Lou?
Let me tell you what. Here's the thing.
You can find them on YouTube.
Oh yeah, and it's not hard to do.
No,
and
it's not hard to do. No, I was researching this.
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah.
Here's what disturbs me about that. YouTube will allow them to stay up because it's under the guise of quote education and information unquote.
Yeah.
Okay.
It will.
It doesn't matter if there's some sick fuck that gets his jollies off, and he's beaten to the drummer,
Right.
But that's okay. But God forbid you put a picture up there of Jesus with little children. All of a sudden, Jesus is a pedophile now.
Yeah, they'll take it down just like that. Yeah, they'll take it down just like that.
Unbelievable.
By the way, speaking of pedophiles, next week we're going to explore, expose, and scandalize an already scandalous situation: the Nickelodeon child sex scandal. Not 1, 2, but yes, 3 pedophiles working on the same show. You can't make this shit up.
No.
And all of them All three are still employed by Nickelodeon. They are all still employed on children's programs. That's the sick part.
That's unbelievable.
Mhm.
But
another
here's
thing.
the sad part. The kids can't get work now.
They
Yeah.
can.
Okay? The kids that blew the whistle, their acting careers are over.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
You
another reason people told me about how, because my daughters are very beautiful, they're very cute. They're like, oh, they could be on TV, they could do all kinds of ads. Nope.
Yeah, you don't want to hear
You
that.
don't want to do that.
Nope.
No,
Don't
you
want to
hear
do that.
Nope.
That-
Not
that-
those
you don't wanna
girls.
hear that shit.
And that show will be on May 15th at
May-
7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, we will
Lou
do
will
that
be
show.
Lou will be having me bring these and this,
There
Yes.
you go.
which
There
is
you
a block.
I got
I have a few of them
my
around here
9mm
too.
in my safe.
Yeah. Bring that
Yeah.
on May.
Yeah.
Bring that to Florida to have a 30-year-old daughter. She's 30, so it don't matter how old she is. She's 30.
It doesn't matter. You're
Right.
right. It doesn't matter. It's
I had
still-
my gun
look,
box out the other day, by the way.
Look, I had to play detective this week. I am the recruiter for this pretty big company. It's $1 billion a year German company.
Mhm.
They only do 100 million in the USA. So I recruit during the day, and then in the evening I go on a 7 o'clock appointment with the representatives. So this is the first night I've got home before 10:30 in probably 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
So I was interviewing somebody the other day, and there was just something creepy about the guy, right?
Something off. Yeah, something off. Your
Something
fatherly
off.
instinct kicked in. Yeah.
And he was in like a shirt and a tie and everything, but he had these white plain socks on, almost like the ones they give out at the jail where I've arrested many people and checked them in, turned them over to the jailers.
Yeah.
And I said, so what am I going to see in your background check that's going to disturb me? He goes, oh, I was just got out of incarceration. I was a 45-year-old guy. I'm like, okay. I go, what for? And he goes, oh, probation violation. I said, what was the original charge? He goes, 2 counts of possession of child pornography. I'm like, yeah, I can't put you in some, because what we do is air filtration systems in people's homes. And I said, can you imagine having this guy walk in and going, hey man, that's one sexy 5-year-old boy you got there.
Yeah.
Boom, bam. There goes my career right down the toilet.
And in prison, who's considered the lowest form of life in prison?
Oh my God, child predators.
Child predators, pedophiles.
The worst. The worst.
The worst.
They'll kill 'em.
Scum. They'll kill them.
Child
They'll kill 'em.
predators,
They're protected.
pedophiles, the worst.
They can't put them in
Speaking
general
of,
pop. They'll kill them.
It's interesting that you talk about that because there are 2 literal island boys. Amelia, you know who they are, the Island Boys. They are a rap group.
Yes.
Pictured with Jeffrey Epstein when they were little boys.
Yeah.
The word is, the credible word is that he financed their career in exchange for, yes, exactly, cue ball. And they have not yet denied that.
Yes.
They've never denied it. They've never denied it.
You know, the price of ammunition has come down. It's only about 57 cents for 1 round to take care of people like that forever.
I know.
Just saying. Just saying.
And I got probably $300 or $400 worth of rounds.
Oh my God, I got a whole ammo box.
Amelia,
Ammo.
what else we got coming up, Neil?
Well, tomorrow we're going to be bringing back the story of Charles Manson, as by popular
be here.
demand.
I'll be
Yeah,
here.
Charles Winston Manson.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, his full name was Charles Winston Miles Maddox Manson. Yes. There's a handful.
Tried to be a folk singer, didn't he, for a while?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
And don't laugh, but you ready for this? On YouTube,
yeah,
Charles Manson singing his original music.
Yeah.
And he ain't, listen,
that bad.
I'll be the first to tell you if the guy's a scumbag, he's a scumbag.
Yeah.
But he did pretty good music. He was a pretty good writer.
Yeah, I heard a couple of his songs, and he actually wasn't bad.
One of the Beach Boys stole his songs.
Yeah, he was a great songwriter. And I think that we're going to talk about, because that's Lou, what you just brought up, Lou, I think is a critical component as to why he did what he did and why his life went south.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did audition for the Monkeys
so we got
too. I heard.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tell everybody what's coming
Monday, the 13th, we're going to actually be talking. It's kind of around what they were talking about a little bit today is human trafficking.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about
and
that.
Lou is going to join us Monday. I don't know if
I'll try to. Yeah.
If Cuba will try to be here. If not, then I will know he's out probably beating up a perp somewhere.
If I get arrested, I'll let you know.
I'll be here with you for sure.
There's a guy that I met.
And then Tuesday, the return of Alcatraz, The Last Escape with Ken Widener. Mike Lynch will be here. And then Wednesday,
the Nickelodeon
we will
scandal.
do the Nickelodeon child sex scandal. I can't wait to get into that one because I'm ready to rip some assholes.
Oh, absolutely.
For Q Wall Carmichael, for Big Lou Marconi, and Amelia the Pitbull Chapman, I am Angelo, the Mad Dog DeCipio. Join us tomorrow night with more of America's Best Popcast. What's the Buzz? We'll see you tomorrow night, folks. Bye-bye.